2021 regular meeting of the Cherry Hills Art Commission will now come to order at 9, what would you say it is? 9:10? 9:10 a.m. Laura, do we do a roll call?
Oh, and if everyone can make sure they speak into their microphones, just so the recording will pick it up. Do you want to, Tammy, do you mind just repeating? 'Cause I
Repeat
don't
it?
think there's-
Sure. Okay. The Monday, June 21st, 2021 regular meeting of the Cherry Hills Village Arts Commission will now come to order at 9:10 a.m.
And Co-Chair Schmidt,
Here.
Co-Chair Hall,
Here.
Commissioner Morrow, Commissioner Smith is absent, Commissioner Anderson is absent, Commissioner Pattison,
Here.
Commissioner Moore is absent.
Okay, it doesn't look like we have anyone in the audience to speak today, so we can move on to the consent agenda and approve the minutes. Our next order of business is the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda?
No.
If there's a correction, do I give that to you, Laura?
Yeah, then we would remove it and we do a correction and then approve as corrected.
Oh, okay, it's just when we were discussing doing the posters for the group, it says Commissioner suggested doing posters or whatever, and it doesn't have my name in there, or Dave's. It says, yeah, there's just a name missing. It happened to be me that suggested it, but I just thought it would be more clear in terms of the follow-up.
I'll find that and correct that, so we can approve the minutes as corrected.
Yes, so I move that we approve the minutes as corrected. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay.
And then you do all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Sorry. Okay, should we move on? Okay. Can you scroll up for me just on the, there we go. All right, so we're on to unfinished business.
So the sculpture on loan was approved by City Council, so.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was good to
wonderful.
hear.
Thank you for attending, Anne Marie. You attended,
Yeah.
didn't you?
That's great.
Yeah.
So yep, they seem supportive, and I'm working with Kendall to get all of the subsequent loan agreement and scheduling and everything. We're working on that.
Okay.
So we did want to see if people were interested in doing a video, including that in the budget, since that we've done that for the last couple of sculptures.
Do you know who we provided the video to? I just don't know much about that project.
Who we provide it to?
Yeah.
We put it on the website.
We just put it on the website. I think some of the schools maybe used it. or-
Right. The first one, we really tried to promote it, all the board and commissions and city council. We tried to show it during all of those meetings to try to kind of promote the art commission, say this is what you guys are about. And we did get a comment back from council that it would be nice to hear from some of the commissioners in the video, because I think it was more focused on the artist. That was for Big Bronze Walking Eye Flower, that particular video. And then the one that we did for Gusto, I don't know that we showed anywhere particularly. I think that just went on the website, and then we have a QR sticker on the plaque that gets you to that page on the website, so you could watch the video that way. But we don't have a way of tracking how many people use that, so I don't know.
And Kendall helped us with those two videos,
Yeah,
right?
she has a videographer that she works with, and it kind of gets paid through, I think it gets paid through her invoices, so we don't actually pay the person directly. So it's just a thought, if you guys are interested. If not, no worries, but wanted to bring it up.
Yeah. But any thoughts on that? It sounds like we've been doing it. I think it would be fun to promote it again a little more, especially with the new colorful piece out front, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think, I love the idea of promoting it to, like, as you did with the first sculpture, to a broader audience, and maybe, like you said, the schools. like
Especially the
Fairhouse
schools in
Village
town,
Elementary, because
yeah.
they see it every day, you know?
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's pursue that, and then
Okay.
we'll see if
coordinate
we
with
can get a
Kendall on-
couple of a commission, we can bring it up next time maybe and see who wants to participate, and maybe just say a few words about the new artist.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
And then the reception will be combined with the annual event, so we don't have anything else to talk to particularly about that yet.
Oh, yes, and Kendall was going to speak to their representatives to see if they could say a few words. Did you hear back from her yet on
I
that?
haven't. I tried to coordinate with her last week and didn't hear back about that and the cruise series and the other questions that we had for her, so she must be already out of town.
Okay, because as we make, preparations for that August 26th date, I think we need to maybe make a decision that if no one's available, that one of us will still make some comments on anyway, right? Because if we want to stick to that date,
Right.
and we don't hear back from Kendall, like we really needed to hear back from her, I thought. So maybe, could you just ask her, tell her again, like, we're planning caterers and music and et cetera, for that date, so maybe if they can't appear, they could at least give us some remarks to say on their behalf,
An
right?
artist statement.
An artist statement, and, one of us can deliver it. But it obviously would be so nice if we could get the representative, because then they can actually answer questions. Right?
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. I was just thinking about that date this morning because it was cloudy, thinking, I sure hope we get good weather. Although we have all this area and the outdoor area, so I imagine we can. But anyway, that's here nor there, but just to follow up on that point.
Well received and attended.
Oh, and can you show them, turn on your microphone?
Are they generally well attended?
Our last one certainly
Our
was the
last one
best,
was
I think.
wonderful, yeah.
Or the last several. I mean, even
Oh,
at
true, at Kathy's house as well.
Yeah, and the one across the way was very nice.
And Laura included, there we are. Laura kindly included the numbers, which is helpful for me because I'm talking with the caterer, and I, had a larger, it was so well attended it was so, and such good energy at Alice Abrams' house that I assumed that it was at least 60 or 70 people. It turns out it was
Yeah,
48, but really, it was a lovely affair.
Does that include commissioners, that number?
I believe the 2019 one, when I looked back at that memo, specifically said that included commissioners. I'm not sure about the previous two, the 2018 and 2017.
it seemed like more people.
I know, right? It really,
Maybe it was, I don't know, just the house. Or-
yes,
I-
yeah,
I
maybe
don't-
it
I
was
don't know.
that a house is a more intimate setting,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it felt like more people. But, so I'm certainly hoping that with the enhanced number of activities in town, like the opening of the new park and the fact that we're going to try and promote this in the crier and update the guest list, that we could, hopefully exceed that number. Hopefully there's an appetite for town involvement and to get out and do some of these fun events, which were all canceled last year. So I think if we all do our part and try and promote it, let's hope to at least have that number, if not more. Okay.
And then regarding the budget, City Council did approve the local-only approval of special event liquor permits, so we'll be able to take out that line item on the budget, since it'll just be a city process, and we won't charge ourselves to do the permit, so.
Okay, good. Right, actually, could you slide back up there, Laura? There we go. So we have the stamps, envelope, name tags, speaker, gift.
Yeah, this one doesn't have the update that Pamela, you and I made on Friday, where we took the invitation,
Yeah.
the $1,000 for the invitation, and added that to the food and drink line item.
Right, so yeah, you'll see later we've added a larger number in the food and drink, but that, of course, will also depend on the amount of RSVPs. So I'll work with the caterer to adjust that number once they start the RSVPs come in, and the posters and the signs, I was thinking that about that as I was coming over here this morning too, because we talked about it, Della, last meeting, that we can reuse those too, right?
Yeah.
We can have we don't need too many, but
Yeah.
just a couple of nice, 2 or 3 nice posters that whenever we have our events, or if there's another event, a town event that we're participating in, and we want to explain our role
Yes.
as one of the city, organizations, that we can trot those out.
Yeah,
That would be nice to look at and explanatory, so.
Okay.
So if we can do that with that budget, we'll have to, I guess, see how
$500.
it goes. If we need a little more, I would actually be inclined to maybe consider that, because it would be something that we would reuse.
So are we envisioning for the posters that explaining our mission and what we're doing, and then highlighting that's certain other pieces of artwork in the collection? And then our signs, do we need signage for something else, or are we saying post signs or posters? Do we need other signage?
I think.
We don't usually do the yard signs for the art events,
Okay.
like we do the other city events. So we've only just done the sort of bigger signs sitting on the desk as you walk in
Okay.
for art events before.
Okay, so that $500 is for the posters?
Just for the,
I can take out that sign.
design and printing of a
Okay.
couple of nice.
Okay,
Unless you want to do yard signs. I mean, we can do that as well. We just haven't priced yard signs for these types of events. But we do them, so we can get a price pretty easily. It's up to you guys.
Are they pretty reasonable? I'm wondering, actually, for promotion, if
Yeah.
we shouldn't have a few.
I know,
We haven't done that in the past, but if we want to,
for the event.
get people aware, just like the barn event and other events.
There's movie night that's right around this event date. So the only thing is we would have movie night yard signs as well. So we would just have to try to work around making sure there's not, and there's 75th Anniversary Committee is actually having their event on the Saturday. They don't
After
want
yours.
After yours. They don't want to do yard signs though. So it'll just be movie night, and then this event, if we have yard signs, we'll have to figure that out if that's something you guys want to do, because we wouldn't have both signs at the corner at the same time. So
Right,
it might be
right.
pulling out a sign, putting in a sign, so.
Okay, maybe that would be great to look into
Okay.
what that
Yeah.
would cost.
Yeah, we don't need loads of them, but
No.
just a few around town.
How many sort of cover our area generally when?
I don't know the answer to that. Usually the Parks Department does it for their events. Like I said, we haven't done it for these events, so Laura and I haven't been involved in getting the cost estimates for those. But we can ask the Parks Department how many they order and what it costs.
Okay, because I know barn party, we do, we used to do a ton, but I know that we don't need a ton.
We don't need it, no, just a few might be.
I get frustrated by a lot of those signs. They're so
You can't read 'em.
information overladen that you can't read them.
Too much information. I agree.
Well, and we can definitely put it on the poster sign out front
Yeah.
that we use along Quincy, so it'll definitely go out there. And that's free, so you don't have to pay for that.
Thank you.
So, yeah, but go ahead and look into it,
Okay.
and we'll
All right, I'm
think
on
about
it.
that. Okay. All right, and just to go over the timeline, the host committee names are due on July 1st, and we should submit those to you, Laura, or either one of you guys? So
Yeah, then we
just a
can kind of
reminder.
collect them all and let Dave know for the invitations.
That's right, because all the host names will be printed on the invitations. Once again, they're not responsible for doing anything, they're just supporting the event, at the host committee level.
When does that due? In
July 1st.
Okay.
So I would also encourage anybody, if you know anyone in town, for example, who might consider that supportive of their business. We did have a host last time, for example, who was a real estate agent, and so she was interested in being a host because she had her name on the invitation, and it was actually like a business expense for her, really, I believe.
good. That's-
So just to,
How much is it again?
$500 for a couple and $300, is that right? And $300 for an individual. And then regular tickets are $125. So once we get the hosts, then we can all just work on our friends to attend
Yeah.
at the regular ticket level. And also just a reminder, if everyone has had or hasn't had yet a quick chance to look at the the existing invitation list, if you want to add any names to it. And I think last time we decided we would print a few blank, I don't know how many we decided, but it's a few blank or unaddressed invitations in case someone was overlooked and you want to put it in the mailbox of one of your neighbors or one of your friends that lives in town. But it is nice to get the list updated too. Laura, actually, I think I sent you the name of someone who was on the list who moved, and then another couple who actually weren't on the list, but they've moved. So don't be confused. Just when you don't see the name, be like, okay, that's the one that I thought would be on the list and they weren't.
Can we go back to the sponsorship amounts? So if it is a business, would that be a $500 or $300?
You know,
Should-
this
or should there
person
be a
did it
business?
in their name, not in their business name, but that's a good question, because I don't think we've ever had a host that was a business, usually just individual.
Yeah, maybe there should be a business level, like price.
Is that, we don't have any that's not a problem, right?
That's just, I think the commission came up with these prices the last time we had it, so you can create a business price point, if you, lack of a better term, if you
The
like.
sponsorship level, yeah.
Yeah, interesting idea.
I don't know what it would be. 1,000, 750. 500.
I know, we could also, yeah,
Same as a couple?
same as a couple, just to start out, and maybe if we get some businesses
Yeah.
interested, then we can goose that up a little. and
Right,
see.
exactly. But make a separate category.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's $500 for business level sponsorship, or whatever we call it. Okay.
okay.
Are we good up at just 600?
And
Just add it, make it a little higher,
You think? 600?
600.
Compare it with a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
600.
And they have the benefits, once again, of having their name on the invitation, and
I would go for 600.
Okay, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
If you think the community is amenable to that price.
But you're right, like, you think realtors and, whatever.
yeah, small to small, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we can add a 600 level for business. Okay,
so that, Jessica, the announcement's going to be in the crier.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
And your artist has designed that?
yes.
Okay, so when we get all the copy for the invitation, you'll send it to me and then send me the art file as well. Can you?
We can,
Yeah.
yes. We finished it over the weekend, so we just used the copy that you and Co-Chair Hall approved and just laid it out exactly how it was the last time.
Okay.
So I can send you that file.
Okay, all right. Because I'll need the photos of the sculpture too, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just need to update it now that we're including
Yeah.
the $600 business line. So
Okay.
that line is not in the crier that we have
Right,
now, because we
right.
just decided that. So we can add that to the August article that we run, and we'll make sure that we add it. I'll ask her to add that, so I can send that to you
Okay.
as soon as she
And
adds
she can
it.
actually send me the InDesign file or whatever,
Okay.
whatever, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And does the $500, $300, that includes a ticket for the? Yeah, okay.
Right.
yes, that's their ticket to attend.
And do you have, I mean, we'll do it the same size as last year. Do you have or envelopes? Pre-printed envelopes, you usually do, but.
Yeah, I'll double check how many we have.
Okay,
I think we still have some stamps too, so we'll have to see how many we have.
yeah.
So you're going to give out a date in July when the invite list is due, is that correct?
Did you guys have an idea of when you wanted to do the stuffing party, stuffing envelopes for the mailing? And then we'll back that up to a couple days to finish the invite list so I can print the labels.
Okay.
If we want to have the invitations mailed on August 1st, I don't know what everyone's schedules are for late July, but we do have a regular meeting on July 26th. So if
How about right
everyone
after?
just
Right
wanted to
after.
stay afterwards,
Yeah.
then
Do it here?
we could do that.
Right.
Okay, so then if you guys could, I'll do the updates to the invite list, do the previous Wednesday, July 21st, to give me a couple days in case things get busy to print all the mailing labels and have that ready for you on that Monday,
You said July 24th?
21st. And I can resend that list to everybody with that date so that
Great idea, yeah.
Dunley
Just so
and
everyone has it fresh
Heather
again.
and Kristen
Yeah,
know
with
that,
the
yeah.
deadline, perfect.
do you want to talk about any of the assignments or?
Let's see, we just talked about the invitations, we had scheduled the envelope stuffing. The catering, I'm working with the company, so I think I'm on top of that, and I'm going to discuss that with
Who is the?
Kristen. I decided to use the company that Kathy used for her event at her house, because it just seemed really professional. And last thing I want to do is have a mess here at the, at the town hall. So I think their name is Occasions. You're familiar with them? I haven't used them before, but Kathy said they're very professional, and and then for music, I know a great horns player, and so I actually attended one of their performances just last week. It's a jazz trio. A couple of the members play at a lot of the jazz clubs in town, and one of the horn players is a personal friend of our family, so they're delighted to come and play for us a couple of hours. It'll just be a piano, horns, and a bass, and just no vocal, just nice cocktail jazz. So I think it'll be fun. We'll add a little excitement to the summer evening party.
Ambiance.
Yeah.
Is this enough room for them to, like?
Yes, like I said, it's just a trio.
Right.
And actually, I did discuss, I would make an appointment with one of you guys. His name is Chuck Schneider, just to show him the space and say, oh, what little, they would just need a corner.
Great.
And if, we have nice weather, could they be outside if it's too hot? Or maybe that's not such a great idea, or if we have showers that day. But they're a trio, they don't have a lot of equipment, so I think they can be flexible about where they're located. But I just thought, I'll come down here in July with him so that he can just have a quick look.
Sure.
But,
Great.
yeah.
They need power,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They will. I mean, I think because, we don't want it to be too loud, like he's not going to mic the horns or, maybe just a little bit of power for small speakers for the piano or something to amplify, but, they're not going to be loud, so. But I'm sure, between this room and the next, we have power, yeah.
And extension cords if they're outside.
Right, exactly.
Should be great.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Not piano, right?
No, a small, a small weighted electric piano. Yeah, exactly. No, just portable. Everything's portable. And posters we just talked about, so.
To interrupt real quick, I emailed the Parks Department while we were in the meeting. She said it costs $206 for 25 signs. And it's double-sided, 3 colors, so.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. I mean, because I don't know if we need 25 signs.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a little cheaper depending on,
Right.
if you order more per sign might be slightly less, but maybe 10. We can call them and find out what the cost would be.
Yeah.
But that gives us a rough idea of how much they paid.
I do think more promotion would be better,
I agree.
right?
Yeah,
What kind of promotion?
The yard signs,
for the event.
For the
Yeah,
event.
The annual event.
I'd
Yeah.
like them to be eye-catching and special,
yeah,
I agreed.
so.
cut above the others.
No offense.
And Marie, would you like to work with us on the design for those?
I serve as a critic. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep it to just Art in the Park annual event and the date and,
Clear and concise.
right, not too, yeah.
The only thing is with Art in the Park and the date is they might not realize they have to pay to attend. So I don't know how we would want to get that point across since we're charging for tickets.
Yes, I think you're right, maybe should lead with annual fundraiser.
Yes.
No, it's an excellent point.
Or
That's a
to
good-
purchase tickets and then the city's website or something and maybe
Yeah.
direct them to the city's website. So if you say to purchase tickets, they realize it's not free. They can't just show up.
Right.
Yeah.
True,
That's
because
an
people are
excellent
used to those
point.
yard
Excellent
signs being
point,
for.
That
yeah.
would be hard.
That would, yes, yes.
Good thought.
So when do you think we have to decide? Because those need to be printed out.
I don't know how long it takes them
Yeah.
to get them, so I will find out. And then we can start maybe putting it together.
I was gonna say,
design-wise.
maybe-
And I don't know how much flexibility they have with their designs, so we'll just have to see since we haven't been involved, I have no idea what it takes to get a sign printed. But we'll find out. We'll
Okay.
find out later
Yeah,
today.
yeah, find out, and then we can make a decision if we want to spend the
Have you
money
ever
and
done
how
a
much
grant?
and what they look like.
Have you ever done a round sign?
I don't know if they offer round signs.
Oh, I've
I
seen
don't
those
think
on the
so.
Highline Canal, those were cute. To talk about the distancing.
It just
or
kind of catches you.
Yeah, something different. Probably depends on the cost.
Question about the posters. Do we have files available, like JPEGs? I mean, obviously, of the stuff. How can I access that?
We have a bunch on our website, or we can set up a time when, I can look through them and you can take a bunch on a flash drive or however you want to do
Okay,
it.
all right, let's do that sooner than later. Good. This-
Okay. Anything else on the annual event?
What was the date again for the stuffing of the envelopes?
Oh, the next meeting.
26th,
26,
July 26th.
okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And we'll have to see. I guess you'll send around that date and make sure that we have a quorum for that,
Yeah.
for that date. So that date will come around too, and we'll make sure that we can have a meeting with people's summer schedules. Actually, a quick question on that, Laura. If people are not in town for an in-person meeting, is it possible now to have a virtual meeting, or is that not allowed?
Starting in July, we're not doing any more hybrid meetings. It's just too difficult with the technology. I don't know if you remember when Kendall and I were on Zoom and we couldn't hear you guys very well.
Yes, yes.
makes
No, it wasn't.
really hard.
Wasn't
Yeah.
easy. Okay, no, just, yeah.
Yeah.
Just curious. Because someone can always call in as well, right? So if they're out of town.
We can have one person call in. So if Kendall's not here and she's called in, then she takes the line that we have.
Okay,
Yeah, if we do a call.
So up to one
versus
person
Zoom,
can call in.
It's still a matter of everyone needing to speak directly into their microphones and not looking to the side.
Or
It's just tricky with the way the sound works. Yeah.
right. Okay, thank you. This is curious. Okay, next item is a crew.
And unfortunately, we don't have an update from Kendall, but I did attach the description that we had from back when we originally got crew. So we do have this blurb that we can have Emmett look at and see if he wants to update.
And I feel like I read something in the materials that the crew series, it has to be moved. Is that true or no?
I don't think it has to
Oh,
be.
okay, all right. I thought I read something that said it had to be moved, but there, in any case, there's no rush on this, right? So we're just working with the artist, and
Right.
we can find a place that the artist and we are happy with, they'll be moved.
Then what was the impetus to move them?
There was so much visual clutter on that corner, and they all are
Yeah.
the same size, combined with all the mechanicals there.
Right.
They just,
In that little park on.
They
Yeah.
get
that
lost.
one
Yeah,
corner.
they're just
And that
lost
one
there.
corner is just ripe for something that is up there, but these are very low to the ground.
Right.
and It's just clutter.
Yeah. 90% of the people that drive by never see them, for sure, maybe
But I do
95.
Yeah.
think they'll, I think they will shine someplace here.
Yeah, I would think Emmett would love to have them here. I mean, for the first time, they're definitely going to stand out and
Exactly.
be part of something, yeah.
Okay, all right, so we'll revisit that next meeting. The next art show, yeah, we don't have Sarah here today for an update, but,
And I don't know, Jessica can give an update, but I don't know if we have any updates.
No, really, the only update I did was order the ribbons, so.
great.
We spent $50 ordering the ribbons. Sarah did update the article that we're running in the Crier to include the monetary amounts that she's planning on donating. Do we have the breakdown? She was extremely generous, yes, and we included that in the packet.
Oh, yes,
So,
look at that.
She thought that maybe that would
Encourage.
encourage and entice, yeah, the people to submit, because we've only really had that one person ask a question, and I haven't heard anything aside from her. So, and I think she was also going to reach out to the Watercolor Society and just give them a heads up and see if anybody through the society was interested too, so.
And we did say that entrants don't have to be from Cherry Hills Village.
Correct.
can
They don't even have to
anywhere.
be in Colorado. She said they could be outside of Colorado as long as they can ensure that the watercolor paintings get here in time for the exhibit. So it's up to them, but yeah.
And the theme, though, is Colorado, right? Or no?
I don't even think there was a.
Colorado.
Oh.
Colorado landscapes, right?
No, I think we might. I don't actually know that we did say that there was a theme.
Mentioned it
We might
once.
just be calling it that. I can't remember. Let's look. It's so small. I know. It's really little, tiny.
Yeah, Colorado landscape.
Colorado landscape.
Yeah, we call it, go down to the first paragraph.
Her
That's where we
works are
have the
lyrical.
description.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah, it says Colorado themed landscapes,
Yeah,
so
Colorado themed.
themed in Colorado. Hopefully, if they're not from Colorado.
I know, that was my thinking. It would be nice to keep the
So-
theme,
So
so that there's some cohesiveness to the show, you know?
Yeah,
So it is Colorado landscapes.
correct.
It's the theme, okay.
And the next crier comes out when? July?
It usually comes out by the end of the first week. So with the holiday, we might be delayed. It depends on how quickly. We're trying to get it printed and mailed before the holiday, but
Right.
depending on the printer's schedule, it might not get done until after. So it might be towards the second week.
Okay. Yeah, submissions are due August 16th. We'll have to see, I mean, we may end up extending that.
Yeah,
With people, if it gets lost over the summer, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So, okay, well, we can discuss that the next time.
okay.
Submissions are due August what?
16th.
Oh, there, I see.
Excellent summer project
That's fast.
for any artists that you know. But yeah, it's fast. Yeah, so. Okay. Utility boxes.
I guess we.
I noticed I had one right next to my, like, over my fence.
Now you're noticing them?
Yes, and I'm like, oh my God, I would die if I had to look at a possum every morning. Like, I mean, I don't know.
They can be as worse as the box itself there. They did one in front of my husband's law office on Littleton Boulevard, and it is ridiculous, just ridiculous.
I mean, like I said, the last time, they're fun and edgy in Denver, you know? I just couldn't bear it.
No, we can't let it go that direction.
Yeah, it would,
Right.
if it's going to happen, like I said the last time, the wild
The
blending in.
quiet,
is-
most quiet
Yes.
greenery, just,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't,
But they're painted green anyway,
I
right?
know. And I noticed too, there was one on Holly, that was just like sort of rusted and kind of a mess. I mean, it just
Yeah,
was,
that's the nature of all of them.
yeah.
Or not all of them, but they all seem to go that direction.
Yeah.
And if they're, that's why I wanted to talk to the people before they installed them, where they located them. And, I mean, what kind of input do we have to be able to determine what is in this city or not?
Right.
But have
I
you
think Jay
noticed,
said we don't.
Yeah, I think, sadly.
but have you noticed Orchard? What an incredible job Greenwood Village has done with that street. It, just recently, very recently. It
It's
is
beautiful.
from, like Quebec down to University Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It is incredibly beautifully landscaped. It still has that lane look. The signs are
Yeah.
held to a minimum, but yet they have a very heavy amount of traffic also. And I'm just concerned that Quincy's looking like the alley of Cherry Hills with all the mechanicals, all the cords, the things that people put up. I just would like to get a start on managing it in some way, but a possum on top of them is not going to help.
Right.
I've often thought, I wondered even if there's artificial rocks that you could buy that you could cover them with, something.
Oh, they would need to be
Big rocks.
accessible.
Yeah.
No, but they
yeah.
have the ones, have you seen, that are artificial?
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, but they, some
But
of them,
they,
yeah.
but
I'm
it-
thinking for all those.
But it would
they look,
increase
they
the
look good
size
at
of
a
it.
smaller scale, but at a larger scale,
Oh,
they
no,
definitely
that would
look
be
artificial.
horrendous.
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is. I just wish we had some control or management over where they're placed to start with, but apparently we don't.
No.
Or, yeah,
Definitely.
I think that's just outside of our mission, but I think it's a
Yeah.
really, it's an important point, and maybe you can find out who to write a letter to. I mean, there's a landscaping issue too, right? If you, wherever they are, if there could be some landscaping around them, they'd be less noticeable, but yeah, I think it's outside of our lane.
Well, over here on the corner of Cherrymore, when they put that box in, they required them to they brick it in, and then they were supposed to plant it up and landscape it. Well, they showed up with 4-inch pots. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I
Well,
think
Jay
it's,
said they don't have the
The
crew to
co-
do it, they
and
don't
the
have
money.
the budget, it's not anywhere in.
well, then I think we need to go after Comcast and some of these
Yeah.
companies to show up.
Yeah. well,
And the
good
other
luck.
point, yeah, good luck with that. The other point is that anything you plant has to be irrigated,
I realize that.
right?
Yeah.
So it just gets costly.
Who does upkeep those, like the rusty one on Holly? Like why,
I know.
it seems like that should be painted right away, Who does that? Do
Well, I
we,
think
does the
should
city
hold
do
those
that?
companies
No,
accountable if they're
it's not
going
up
to
to
do
the city,
business.
they have
It's
nothing
the
to do with
company,
it.
it's the company that
the- yeah.
installs them.
Right.
Should maintain them to some degree.
Maybe we should start fining them now
I know, I mean, it's.
for letting them go to rust.
It's really, it's in front of that huge gated house. Like, I can't believe they stand for that. You know what I mean? The people that, it's right in front of their
Entrance.
brick entrance, yeah.
In this northwest corner of University, they're just piling them on the top of the garden there. Big problems. Third world problems.
Right.
Well, okay, so since Commissioner Anderson is not here and she requested that it be included, we'll just leave it in for one more meeting. But I think it sounds like people are mostly, would prefer that they just be maintained and not that they be wrapped. Really? Is that my understanding from what everyone said? That we'll leave it in for the next meeting because Commissioner Anderson requested it be included. And then, but maybe then we can share with her that what I'm hearing is that most of us would prefer that they be maintained rather than they be wrapped in any kind of graphics.
Yes.
And then also that we all understand that it's really not in our lane, but because we have an eye for aesthetics, maybe we can actually, I guess we could as a commission write a letter to the appropriate person in the town to just see if they could maybe make an inquiry since we have no control. It sounds like the town has no control over it either, but that we could, maybe the town can send a letter to the companies that maintain these boxes to just say that we're concerned that some of them have become an eyesore, or that the location of something about that. I don't really know where to go with
Well,
it,
right.
but
It goes along with also the repetitive and unnecessary signage that goes up. But it's all just visual clutter.
I do like I love your idea of, and I don't know if that's in our purview either, but beautifying, Quincy.
Well, drive down Orchard and tell me
Oh,
what you think.
it's
sometime.
amazing. I know what you're talking about. It's beautiful. And, who accomplishes that? Who does that?
Well, Greenwood Village has such a great tax base.
I was just going to say, sadly, they have a large commercial tax base because while they are still
sure.
a village,
They look
part of
good.
their
They
village
have-
is not a village. It is a corporate center.
Yep.
They look very good. Their landscaping is beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we just, we'll revisit this maybe one last time next meeting when Sarah's here. The next item, the Kathy Finger art donation application. I wasn't aware of this. It's very nice of her to donate a photo to the town hall. Do we have to approve this application, or what do we have to do for this meeting?
Yeah, there's a recommended motion if you guys want to accept it.
Okay.
Okay.
So is everyone familiar with this? And if you had a chance
Yeah.
to read it? Yeah, here, just take a, no, it's okay,
You
take a
want me
minute.
to, I can recommend it. I move to approve the art donation application from Kathy Finger and recommended that the city council approve the art donation agreement with Kathy Finger.
Is there a photograph of it here?
Yes.
Yes.
And this is the one that the staff chose.
Oh,
That's from the last photography exhibit.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And, second? I second the motion.
All right.
Say, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you.
Okay, financial update, Jessica?
Financial update. So based on this meeting, then I'll go ahead and add a line item for the video, if that's what the commission would like to do. I think we spent around $1,730 when we did Gusto, so we'll just put a line item for that in there. And then again, we increased the food and budget line item for the annual event to $4,500 once we eliminated the invitation costs. So those were the only changes we made for this budget.
Okay, anyone have any questions? Oh, I did notice that it was in the materials, it did say that, so individuals cannot donate alcohol. There was something about the alcohol policy, right?
Right, yeah.
Right,
For a
'cause-
special event liquor permit, they regulate a lot, very strictly, where the alcohol comes from and how it gets to where it's going and everything. So a wholesaler or a retail liquor store can donate alcohol to a special event liquor permit event, but individuals cannot.
Right, and I just wanted to clarify that because in the past, we didn't need the special liquor permit.
Right.
And so we had received donations of alcohol, but now that we know that we need a special liquor permit, those are the rules. But, yeah, just noting that. So thank you for including that and clarifying that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see any.
Quick question. When I do the posters, design and production, do I just submit the bill? How do we handle that?
I can either pay the company directly. It's
Okay.
usually how we do it because we're tax exempt, so they probably wouldn't give you our exemption. It usually has to be the business that pays. So
Okay.
if you just give me the information, then I can call them with a credit card, or if they'd rather us pay by check, then I can issue a check if we get an invoice.
Okay.
And it looks like the Parks Department goes through super cheap signs. I pulled up their website. They do not offer circle signs, so. So just to let you, we can investigate that option, but
Yeah,
Do
no.
you think super cheap signs, that's the name of the business, would they, that's so charming. Would they, so if I had a designer design the posters, could they print posters as well?
perhaps. I'm going to go back on their website and look and see. They do bumper stickers and all sorts of. promotional items. So yard signs, campaign signs, banners, magnets, aluminum signs, stickers, posters, promotional. So yeah, it looks like they could.
Okay.
I can send you the link and then
Great.
maybe we can decide on, because it looks like you can do a price estimate and it depends on the size of the poster that you're looking for, whether it's single-sided, double-sided, and the number of colors.
Okay, great. That'd be great.
Okay.
Send me the link. Thank you.
Okay, any further business? Anyone?
So before we call the meeting to order, to touch base for August, the August issue, we'll put the invitation in the crier for the August issue. Is there anything else you would like me to include? The deadline for the watercolor exhibit will be prior to, or after, maybe by a week. So we could do the watercolor exhibit one more time. It just makes me nervous when if it gets delayed for any reason, but it's been in there for the last 3 issues. So it's up to the commission if you want me to keep that line in there about the submittal or not.
So it won't be, the August will be focused on the annual
On the
event. but
actual
there's-
event.
But there's just a line that says reminder about the,
Well, for the watercolor exhibit article we have.
right, that's a whole,
It's a whole article, and then it talks about the submission requirements and the submission deadlines. So we can leave that article in there and just take the submission portion of it out to remind people that the exhibit is coming up in November. Or we can skip August and then start again in September to keep it top of mind once it gets towards the exhibit date.
I don't know, well, you could put something small in. I don't think it needs to be anything,
to have the whole
yeah, that's going to compete with.
With the colors, okay.
With our, yeah.
annual event. So maybe just a reminder rather than running
Yeah.
the whole article in
Right.
August. Because this July one will be the first time that the prize amounts are,
Correct.
right, so people will have that information. So maybe just a reminder rather than the whole article.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? Okay,
That's all I have.
no further business? All right, there being no further business, the meeting is adjourned.